Today we're going to be making a layered paper butterfly that you can place in a 12 by 12 frame. As you can see here, I have some 12 by 12 cardstock. All of these colors are listed in the post as well as in the tutorial. You're also going to be using some white craft glue, a white paint pen, and a yellow colored pencil. All right, let's get started. I cut all of my cardstock out on a cutting machine, but you could also cut this by hand pretty easily. We're going to start by taking the wings, and there are some score marks on these wings. On the side of the cardstock that has been scored, you're going to go ahead and very gently fold. We're not folding it all the way, we're just folding it enough so that you see the fold. Just like that. Continue folding along the score lines. Then you can kind of open it back up. You can see that you can see where those score lines are a lot better now that you folded it slightly. And I'm going to repeat that on all of our wings that have score lines. So the piece that I'm doing now is one of the lower wings. And then we have, these are some detail overlays that go over the lower wings, and they also have score lines on them, and so we're going to go ahead and fold those as well. Okay, after I folded those, I'm going to go ahead and take my white craft glue. I'm going to place a small circle of the glue right here at the point of the inner wing. And then I'm going to line up the top of the wing with the detail cut out right on top. Go ahead and line those up. And then just hold where that glue is until the glue is tacked up a bit. And you're going to repeat that with the second wing. Just a small circle of glue, setting that second piece on top. All right, now I'm going to take my upper wings. So same thing, we have the wings that are kind of the background, and then we have the top of the wing with the detail cut out. And all of these have score lines in them as well. So we're going to go ahead and fold along the score lines again. All right, when you folded those score lines, we're again going to add a circle of glue, placing the top detail piece on top and just holding where you glued for just a few seconds for that glue to tack up. Go ahead and repeat that on the second wing. All right, next we're going to take these top wings and the detail pieces that are going to go on these top wings. And you have these small flowers. Go ahead and place some glue on the back of this flower. Just glue it on to the stem. Okay, after you've added those flowers, go ahead and flip this over and place a small dot of glue just right at the corner here. It'll be right at the end of these stems that are cut out. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue it on top of one of my top wings. You'll see that it fits really nicely in the wing right beside these cutouts. And just hold where you place that glue so that it can tack up. Then you're going to go ahead and repeat that with the second wing. There you go. So you've finished your top wings. I'm going to go ahead and set them aside. We're going to go ahead and add the details to these lower wings. So you just have these 3 dark blue cutouts for each wing. So I'm going to start with the larger one. And same thing, we're only adding glue just to the point here. And I'm going to place this larger one between 2 of the score lines. So we're going to go ahead and take the lower detail piece, and it's going to fit just below that last score line. Again, placing a little bit of glue just at the point. We're only adding glue to one portion of each of these pieces so that you have a little bit of lift off of each piece, which will create some nice shadows and give you some more depth. I'm going to take this top piece, again placing glue just on the tip. I finished one of those lower wings, and we're going to go ahead and apply the other details onto the second one. And just do your best to get the same placement as you did with the first one so that they mirror each other. So I always like to start with the center piece. And then adding the lower one. Then you'll go ahead and add your top piece. So go ahead and set those aside once you've added those details. And now we're going to go ahead and grab our body pieces. So you should have 4. You'll see there's a score line in the center. We're going to go ahead and fold along that score line. This piece of paper has texture to one side of it, and so my score line is on the textured side, and I'm folding that up. Okay, I'm going to take one of my folded pieces and add glue to one side of the fold. I'm adding glue to the outside. Then I'm taking a second one and lining them up and gluing them together. You're gonna have to really pinch these together using your fingers so that they hold. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add glue to one side. Taking a third one, lining it up. All right, I'm gonna fold everything together really good now. Okay, and now we're going to add our last piece. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue again to one side. All right, and once you've attached all 4 body pieces together, we're going to go ahead and set this aside to let that glue dry a little bit. So we've grabbed our wings, and we're going to go ahead and add some details using the white paint pen. So for these lower wings, I'm just going to add some white in the center of most of the cutouts. And I'm just kind of mimicking the shape of the cutout, but not filling the whole space. All right, and do the same with the other wing. Okay, I'm going to add details to these top wings as well. For this larger cutout, I'm going to do a bit of like a kidney bean shape at the top. And then same thing with these smaller cutouts as I did with the lower wings. All right, I'm also going to add a little bit of detail to the flower, mimic the shape of the flower just at the base here, coming off of the stem. Just almost like 3 little lines that meet at the base. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the second wing. Doing sort of a kidney bean shape in this larger cutout. All right, and now adding detail to my flower. All right, next I'm going to use the yellow colored pencil. You want to make sure that your paint has dried before you do this step. The paint should only need a few minutes to dry though. I'm going to go ahead and color these white dots with the yellow colored pencil. If you have a yellow paint pen, you could use that, but if you don't, this is a great way to get a different color. Just using the colored pencil over the white paint. The yellow paint pen I had was just a bit too bright, and I wanted a softer yellow for these details. We're also going to add the yellow to the detail on the flower. Okay, now that we've added those details, I'm going to go ahead and grab my background color. I'm going to use this pale yellow. The color is listed in the post and also in your PDF tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and place this in a frame before I add the butterfly. I feel like it's a bit easier to get an idea of where center is on the paper when you're just gluing onto the paper with it in the frame. All right, so first I'm going to grab these lower wings. You can see there's a flat edge right at the tip, and those two flat edges should meet perfectly. I'll go ahead and grab these top wings. So I'm not gluing anything down yet. I'm just seeing where I want to place everything. So again, with the top wings, there's kind of two flat edges here, and they'll meet, and then you're going to line them up right on top of the lower wings. Just like that. So we'll kind of get an idea of where center is. I'm going to go ahead and grab this lower wing. Add a dot of glue right by that flat edge. And then go ahead and grab the top wing. And lining up the two flat edges, go ahead and glue the top wing to the lower wing on the left side. So I'm just holding these until they're really holding together. And go ahead and gently set them down. I'm going to do the same thing with the right set of wings. Now we can really get a good idea of where center is going to be. Looks pretty good. I'm going to pick up one side, add some glue to the back. You really only need a very small amount of glue for it to hold, and it will dry very solid when you're finished. Grabbing the second side and doing the same thing. Lining up those two flat edges, really securing it onto the paper by just pressing down. Then kind of separate the layers of wings to give it a little bit more depth. Okay, next you're going to go ahead and grab your body that you made. You're going to go ahead and open it up where there's no glue. So you have all of these pieces are glued together, and then underneath this will be where we glue it to the paper. So I'm opening this up. You can see all the folds in there. I'm going to apply glue to both sides. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the center of my butterfly. All right, and now you have your finished butterfly. Once everything's dry, you can go ahead and hang it on the wall. You can go ahead and separate some of these layers a little bit to give it more depth. Thank you for crafting with me today.